In a stunning turn of events, Ukrainian forces have launched a daring counteroffensive, reclaiming a key city from Russian control. This development throws a wrench into Russia's war plans and exposes the deep cracks in their military might. Let's not forget that this brutal conflict began when Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, shattering the peace and sparking a courageous fight for Ukrainian independence. Now, with this recent victory, the tide may be turning, and the world watches with bated breath to see how Ukraine continues to defy the odds. Russia's miscalculation in the conflict with Ukraine stemmed from a series of flawed pre-war assumptions, which ultimately led to strategic missteps and unexpected challenges for the Russian military. Initially, Russia anticipated a swift and relatively effortless victory over Ukraine, based on several key factors. Firstly, Russia underestimated the determination and resilience of the Ukrainian people and government. Despite facing economic hardships and political instability, Ukraine's resolve to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity remained steadfast. The widespread support for Ukrainian independence, both domestically and internationally, caught Russia off guard and hindered its efforts to achieve a quick military triumph. Moreover, Russia's faulty intelligence and flawed assessment of Ukrainian military capabilities further compounded its miscalculation. The Russian military leadership underestimated the effectiveness of the Ukrainian armed forces and their ability to resist a full-scale invasion. Prior to the conflict, Russia had neglected to account for Ukraine's military reforms, training programs, and acquisition of modern weaponry, which significantly enhanced its defensive capabilities. Additionally, Russia's reliance on outdated stereotypes and misconceptions about Ukraine's military strength blinded its strategic planners to the evolving reality on the ground. The widespread perception within Russia's military establishment of Ukrainian forces as disorganized and poorly equipped proved to be grossly inaccurate, as Ukrainian troops demonstrated resilience and tactical proficiency in the face of Russian aggression. Russia's miscalculation in the conflict with Ukraine was rooted in its erroneous pre-war assumptions and faulty intelligence assessments. By underestimating Ukrainian resolve and military capabilities, Russia found itself facing unexpected challenges and prolonged conflict, undermining its initial expectations of a swift and easy victory. Ultimately, this strategic misjudgment exposed Russia's vulnerabilities and contributed to the protracted nature of the conflict in Ukraine. Ukraine has defied expectations with its remarkable strength and resilience in the face of Russian aggression. The unwavering spirit of the Ukrainian people has been a cornerstone of their resistance. From ordinary citizens taking up arms to defend their homeland, to everyday acts of defiance, Ukrainians have demonstrated a deep well of patriotism and determination. This resolve has translated into battlefield effectiveness. Ukrainian forces have surprised the world with their ability to adapt and exploit weaknesses in the Russian military. Strategic use of drones and anti-tank missiles has inflicted heavy losses on Russian armored columns. Additionally, strong leadership and a willingness to fight for every inch of territory have hampered Russia's attempts at swift conquest. Ukraine is not alone in this fight. International support has been a crucial factor in its resilience. A steady flow of military aid from Western nations has bolstered Ukrainian defenses with weapons and equipment. Humanitarian assistance has also been vital, providing food, medical supplies, and shelter for displaced Ukrainians. This global backing has been a lifeline for Ukraine, demonstrating that the world stands with them in their fight for freedom. The initial shock of encountering fierce Ukrainian resistance has sent ripples of disarray through the Russian military. Morale amongst troops, likely promised a quick victory, has reportedly plummeted in the face of heavy losses and logistical nightmares. Soldiers are encountering equipment breakdowns, dwindling supplies, and a lack of clear direction from commanders. These issues are compounded by a severe shortage of manpower. Russia's pre-war calculations significantly underestimated Ukrainian strength, leading them to deploy an insufficient number of troops for a large-scale invasion. Adding to the pressure, crippling sanctions imposed by the West are starting to bite into Russia's economy. Restricted access to vital resources and financial markets are hindering their ability to effectively wage war. The combined effect of battlefield setbacks, internal disarray, and economic strain paints a picture of a Russian military facing a much more challenging situation than they anticipated. A Ukrainian victory wouldn't just be a win for Ukraine. It would send a powerful message rippling around the globe. It would demonstrate that unprovoked aggression against a sovereign nation will not be tolerated. This could deter future invasions and help maintain a world order built on respect for international law and borders. In a world where the principles of justice and democracy reign supreme, a Ukrainian victory transcends mere territorial conquest. It becomes a beacon of hope for oppressed peoples worldwide. Beyond the borders of Ukraine, the ripple effects of such a triumph would reverberate across continents, inspiring nations facing tyranny and oppression to rise up in defense of their own freedoms and sovereignty. A Ukrainian victory would serve as a resounding affirmation that might does not always make right. It would underscore the inherent value of freedom and democracy, reminding authoritarian regimes that aggression and subjugation come at a steep moral and political cost. By standing firm in the face of Russian aggression, Ukraine embodies the spirit of resilience and defiance against tyranny, offering a glimmer of hope to those who yearn for liberty and self-determination. However, the significance of this conflict extends far beyond the borders of Ukraine. It strikes at the heart of the global order. By providing Ukraine with military aid and maintaining robust sanctions on Russia, the international community not only stands in solidarity with a nation under siege, but also safeguards the principles upon which the modern world order is built. A weakened Russia, humbled by its failure in Ukraine, is less likely to pose a threat to its neighbors or engage in nefarious activities such as interference in democratic elections. By bolstering Ukraine's defenses and holding Russia accountable for its aggression, the international community lays the groundwork for a more stable and secure world, where nations can coexist peacefully without fear of coercion or intimidation. While the cost of supporting Ukraine may seem daunting, the consequences of inaction are far graver. Allowing Russia to trample upon Ukraine with impunity not only emboldens aggressors, but also undermines the very foundations of the international rules-based order. Ukraine's struggle is not just a fight for its own freedom, it is a fight for the collective future of humanity, where nations can thrive in an environment of peace, justice, and mutual respect. In essence, supporting Ukraine is not merely an act of solidarity, it is an investment in a world where freedom, democracy, and human dignity prevail over tyranny and oppression. As Ukraine bravely defends its sovereignty and values, the international community must stand shoulder to shoulder with them, for their cause is not just theirs alone, it is a cause worth fighting for by all who cherish freedom and justice. Despite the harrowing toll of suffering and devastation inflicted upon Ukraine by the ongoing conflict, there remains a glimmer of hope for the nation's future. The indomitable spirit of the Ukrainian people, epitomized by their resolute resistance against overwhelming odds, has garnered global admiration and solidarity. Their struggle transcends mere territorial defense. It embodies a fervent commitment to the fundamental principles of freedom and democracy. In the face of adversity, Ukraine has not stood alone. The international community has rallied behind them, offering crucial military and humanitarian aid to bolster their defense and alleviate the plight of affected civilians. This outpouring of global support serves to fortify Ukraine's resolve and provides them with a fighting chance against the aggressor. As Ukraine steadfastly pushes back against Russian aggression, each step forward represents more than a territorial reclamation. It lays the foundation for a future defined by self-determination and democratic governance. A Ukrainian victory in this conflict would resonate far beyond its borders, delivering a powerful message to the world that aggression and tyranny will ultimately falter in the face of unwavering determination, and that the ideals of democracy and freedom are worth defending at any cost. Indeed, a triumph for Ukraine would serve as a beacon of hope for oppressed peoples everywhere, reaffirming the belief that democracies, though tested, can endure and prevail. Yet, to ensure that this vision of a brighter future becomes a reality, sustained international support is paramount. It is imperative that the global community continues to stand shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine, not only during their darkest hours, but until they can rebuild and reclaim their rightful place as a free and sovereign nation. In solidarity with Ukraine, the world must remain steadfast in its commitment to upholding the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy, ensuring that the sacrifices endured by the Ukrainian people pave the way for a future marked by peace, prosperity, and genuine self-determination. Beyond military aid, how can the international community further empower Ukraine's journey towards a brighter democratic future? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.